So we'll be looking at another Korean Eternity post that came out on the Korean Eternity microsite. So this one's all about chairs and sitting. Suddenly the sitting position and posture change and the legs are buried in the chair. You can kind of see how like the feet are like buried in the chair there and how that doesn't look right. It's like clipping through. And then when you stand up, I stand in the buried chair. Your character like appears in the middle of it. So this is going to be about how to fix all that. Looking at the current state of Pleon Engine, there were issues with sitting down and standing movements. Suddenly the position changed and the awkward sight of the legs being buried in the chair was seen. So why does this happen? This is because each character has a different height and leg length, and size of the chair is also different. Development points for implementing natural sitting, so these are the things that they plan on adding to help your character sit better. Applying these 7 elements will result in much more natural movements. When you use the rest skill, you should be able to find a chair within a 5-meter radius and sit on it. When generating the navigation mesh, the area where the character can move, considering the character's maximum collision box size, there were cases where the chair was inaccessible. I explained the situation to the person in charge and adjusted the chair collision box to make the chair accessible. So there is a large height difference between a small character and a large character. So yeah, there is a height difference between like humans, giants, elves, and like whatever age that you have your character set at, because the age system is basically like a height adjuster for your characters. This diversity allows us to create data assets that can be customized by race and age. So prepare to sit down. When sitting, the direction you look should be towards the chair, that is, the opposite direction you approached the chair. Even if you move to the sitting position using the route finder, there may be a slight error, so this position error is also corrected through interpolation. This process takes about 0.2 seconds to process naturally. And sit down. While playing the sitting motion, slowly adjust the position of your hips to the sitting position of the chair. In the Pleon engine, there was a phenomenon of bouncing when adjusting the height before sitting down, but this was improved by adding additional processing to move to the target position through interpolation during the animation. For the same reason as the starting sitting position, small characters are set to sit in front of the chair, and large characters are set to sit inside the chair. This can also be adjusted by race and age in data asset. So we can see that example down here. You can see a small human character, and you can see that when she's sitting on the chair, she's sitting more towards the front of the chair. And we have a taller giant character, and when they sit down, like they're further back on the chair, it looks like. So you can see how this already looks a lot better than it currently does in our current version of Mabinogi. Although those plants are kind of clipping through the bench. But this is just a test, so I'm sure they'll iron that out. And this was posted by Chair King, so cool avatar. But yeah, this is all about like chairs and like sitting and how all those physics work. So there are finally some new posts on the Korean Eternity section, and we're going to be taking a look at some of them. So we're going to start with this one. I think Mabinogi is a game that requires you to check a lot of things on the screen often. There are many reasons for this. The inventory is unique and the number of skills is just too numerous. However, before focusing on the UI on the screen, I focused on the most basic screen. This has been a frequent topic among relatively new players in the development lab. So I compared it to recent games and considered how I could make Mabinogi's screen more pleasant. So this is all about like field of view and how we can make the screen for Mabinogi better. So here you can see 3 different images of the field of view. So right here they're zoomed in to the back of their character, and then here they're zoomed out a little bit more and you can see a little bit more behind them and in front of them. And then here they're like zoomed way out and you have a good view of Dumbarton. The field of view refers to the field of view on the game screen. This will likely be familiar to those who enjoy taking photos. So if the angle of view is low, the range visible on the screen is narrow. The higher the angle of view, the wider the range visible on the screen. To make it easier to understand, let's look at some in-game example images. So they do have some example images here, and also some example videos, but these videos are taking a long time to load, probably because I'm a North American player and this is on the Korean website. But I have 2 of them loaded up, we'll take a look at those. So here's the first video, and you can see that they're zoomed into the front of their character. And you can see a lot of Dumbarton from here, so a few things have been moved around. You'll notice that the staircase to the town office is a little different, and there's a big staircase going directly up to the magic school now. And also the mailbox is over here instead of over here. So a few small changes to make Dumbarton feel better. But overall it still looks the same. Let's take a look at this. So here you can see them zooming out and zooming in and zooming out. Gives you kind of an example of what it's going to be like and how smooth it is. And for the next video, they're actually going to run down this street of Dumbarton. So this is what it looks like when a new player is entering Dumbarton in Unreal Engine. So yeah, all these videos here are pretty much the same. If you look at the images and videos, you will be able to feel the difference between narrow and wide angles at a glance. So yeah, these are pretty cool. Currently, the live-action version of Mabinogi features a 45-degree field of view. Considering the average monitor size when Mabinogi was first developed, this isn't a particularly unusual figure. However, the problem is that over 20 years have passed. The monitor sizes used by militians have also increased, and the amount of content on systems in-game has significantly increased, resulting in a massive increase in what you can see on the screen. So yeah, that's definitely true. I play Mabinogi with a 24.5-inch monitor because that's what works best for me, but Mabinogi sometimes has trouble on like really big monitors. You'll have to mess with the settings a lot to get it to work right. So first, this narrow field of view needed to be broadened to fit the modern game. However, it'd be problematic if the difference from the screen you're accustomed to while playing was so great that it felt out of place. So yeah, this is pretty tricky. You do have to make like little adjustments like this to make Mabinogi more modern. So yeah, there are these two videos here as well, and I would play them if they weren't loading so slowly, but you can come to the Korean Eternity section and load up these videos, or try and download them. It might take a little while, but you can see them that way. I've tried setting different minimum and maximum angles to ensure a natural change when zooming in and out with the mouse scroll. A closer look reveals that objects in the distance move slightly differently when zoomed in and zoomed out. As I adjusted the angle of view like this, I realized there were more things to consider than simply fixing it to one number. So this is actually a room in Albi Dungeon in Tirnanog. There's also some posts about how they're redoing the boss room and a couple other rooms in Tirnanog completely. I need both a distant view and a closer view for a clearer view of the character, and these two perspectives had to be properly differentiated. At the same time, I had to be careful not to accidentally switch perspectives. If you accidentally scroll in the middle of a hunt and get pulled into a character, you'll be in big trouble. Yeah, that would be bad. And here we can actually get a cool view of Tirnanog. I actually downloaded this video, which you can do by clicking right here and selecting download. So we don't need to wait for that one to load up. Let's pull that up next. Okay, so here's the video of Tirnanog, which actually looks pretty cool. So you can see the fence here, you can see the torches. I like how the fire is blue instead of orange. Like, that looks really cool. It would be awesome to have like a Halloween event here. Like, this looks really good. And here they're zooming in a bit. And here they're zooming out a lot, so you can see how some of the fence here is destroyed. And it looks like there's a wolf or maybe a warg like right out here. So this is just like off to the side of the bank. So yeah, this post has a lot of information about the field of view in Mabinogi and how they're going to make it work with like bigger monitors and stuff. So this is definitely worth checking out. You can come to the Korean Eternity site using Chrome, and it'll translate all this, so you can read it more or less. So let's look at a few more posts in the Eternity section on the Korean Mabinogi website. So we have a few new posts here. There are two videos that we're going to look at. We're going to look at this video and this video. And here we can see some of the NPCs from Bangor. And here we can see Shattering Windmill. So this is what it looks like in Pleon Engine. And this is what it's going to look like in Unreal for Elemental Knight, the Shattering Windmill skill. So Shattering Windmill looks pretty good. I like the new look for sheeps too. And then we have this video here. So on the left side, they're doing like the tailoring skill. And on the right side, they're doing something with a mannequin. And that also looks like it involves using the tailoring skill, because you can see the tailoring skill icon above her head. And here we have a picture of what the dragon ruins just outside of Bangor will look like in Unreal. Like, here's the dragon ruins, and here are the buildings surrounding it. So this looks really good. I like how you can see all the mountains and stuff off to the side. I'm not sure what that is. It almost looks like a tent or something. Maybe it's just a weird shaped rock. So I'm wondering like what's going on up there. The ground is also pretty flat up there, so maybe there'll be new areas to move on. That'd be kind of cool. But it kind of looks like one of these wooden structures that are kind of around the dragon ruins. So that might be what I'm seeing like over here. Let's take a look at another Korean Eternity post. So this one's all about like face shape and all that stuff. So we had to make everything compatible with existing live data, including hair, facial expressions, including eyes and mouth, and facial decorations. And this is what the current basic face looks like. And then down here, a wide face shape that cannot be escaped with pretty hair. So you can see that it still has the same wide face look as this one, but it's a little bit less noticeable because of the long hair. But the wide face shape is still a problem. That's what they're trying to show there. And Eternity basic face shape created based on the live basic face shape. So that's what this is. Even if you increase the number of polygons and touch up the bridge of the nose, is absolutely impossible to create a beautiful face based on the basic face shape. The default face is literally the first thing the user sees. It's the game's first impression. So the face shape created in this way is as follows. So human female character basic face shape created based on a face shape with a high nose. So this is what the faces currently look like, and this is what they have in Unreal so far. And this is a screen under development, and the final image may differ, but this will give you a good example of what things will look like. So this is Pleon Engine, and this is Unreal Engine. And you can see like the difference in the improvements in like the face for the character. Some people may not like the changed look, while others may like the changed look. Can we create graphics that will satisfy everyone? The short answer to that is no. There will probably be players that will like it and not like it. There's always going to be players that are going to disagree and not like the graphical change. But I think they're doing a good job keeping the graphic style as close to a Mabinogi graphic style as possible. What fits the feel of our game? What should we keep and what should we change? So I'm glad they're thinking about all this stuff, because it's impossible to satisfy everyone, to make every player happy with the changes. But I think they're doing a good job making sure that Mabinogi keeps its unique anime look without drastically changing. Okay, so let's look at another Eternity post on the Korean site. So this one's Anchor Rush Chain Slash Development. So this is about like chain blades and how those move and work. I'd like to introduce a work that naturally extended a chain using Unreal Control Rig. So in Pleon, you had to cram all the chain-related bones into the character bone and control them directly. And here you can see what all that looks like from their end, like programming that in. But now that we're using Unreal, let's do it like Unreal. So chain weapons can be separated from the character and managed independently. Plus, if you use the control rig that Unreal kindly provides, chain work becomes much easier, so why not use it? So cleaner, more flexible, more Unreal. Controlling the length of the Anchor Rush chain. So this is going to be about like the Anchor Rush skill specifically. And they talk all about how they did this. And here you can see how all this works. So a structure that is usually easy to control in a control rack, and the reality, so you can see the whole process for this, which is kind of cool. It looks like they're using a Kraken leg for this example here. I guess that would move in a similar way to a chain blade, so it makes sense that they're using that as an example. As above, I figured out that all I had to do was pull it to the target point with the 7 blades and position it. Since there are 7 blades in total, I tried placing the blades one by one from the starting point to the destination. Okay, so like blade 1 going to the target point, this would be whatever you're hitting, the enemy, and you do the same thing for each individual blade. The chain has really stretched to the target position. Sure, there were bugs where each axis was pointing in the wrong direction, but it was still enough to convince me it works. Oh, okay, and you can see what the chain blade looks like here, and then this is what it looks like when it's stretched out. So that work was being done for about 3 weeks after a bit of trial and error. So this is what Anchor Rush looks like in Pleon Engine, sort of. And then this is what it looks like after all this testing. I tried it and it was more natural than I thought. So you can see how smooth that looks. That's really good progress. Still, I was relieved to be able to apply it faster than expected. In fact, the reason it could end so quickly was because the weapon animation system was already implemented. Thanks to that, it was easy to apply because it fit perfectly, and I could focus on increasing the chain without worrying about anything else. For code work, you only need to pass the destination coordinates, and the rest can be done simply like this in the control rig script. Yeah, that's really cool. What if you weren't working with the control rig? Control rig basically takes into account the chain structure and automatically does things like if you turn this bone, the adjacent bone should follow like this. But if you implement it yourself, it's animation hell. It's not impossible to implement chaining without a control rig though, but the difficulty of digging is from software level. Yeah, so this looks like it was a lot of work to do. It's cool to see how this process works for something as simple as one of the many weapons that we use in Mabinogi for like one of the skills. I mean, this is just talking about chain blades and mostly Anchor Rush. Alright, let's start playing some Mabinogi today. So first things first, I want to check on my homestead stuff. I'm trying to get this leveled up. Good, I finally have half the con I need. Yeah, we have cabbages. Yeah, let's plant cabbages then. Or wait, no, we don't have homestead seeds for that. We'll plant these two. Some tomatoes. We have a lot of strawberries. Now let's plant some of these rose hips. Maybe I'll plant 3 strawberries down here. Alright, well that's gonna take a while. Let's go to Dunbarton and find out what the veteran dungeon is gonna be today. We're also gonna do some text today too. Okay, math dungeon. Let's go get the normal daily dungeon. Fairy dungeon. Okay. So we're an Arsenal Gunner right now, right? Yeah. Let's go to Math Dungeon. We'll do the Daily Veteran Dungeon first. And then we'll probably do Tex after that. How much longer until that expires? 17 days? Better do some Stardust stuff next week. And time for the boss. Well, bosses, we have like 3 of these hellhounds. Nice try there. And that one's down. Wait, why did that only have one shot? That wasn't right. Fire! I think we're getting a little bit of lag here. And he's down. 21 minutes and 30 seconds. Unlimited veteran pass. So we'll do Fairy Dungeon next then. I wasn't gonna do it unless I got that dungeon pass because I don't want to buy a dungeon pass from the dungeon guy. But since we got the unlimited pass, then we can just do that one on veteran mode. I'm excited to see how they'll redo Bangor in Unreal Engine. I've seen some pictures of Bangor and Mabinogi Mobile and it looks pretty good. Alright. Let's drop this. And time for the boss. I think we have 5 of them. And he's dead. Okay, that one's dead. Let's get that one next. Nice. Okay, let's get this little one. Get away. You're not doing that. Got him. 19 minutes and 19 seconds. So both the veteran dungeon and the normal daily dungeon are done. Dark Diviner is a little bit better for the tech mission that I'm going to be doing, so we're going to switch to that. Now let's go to the homestead real quick. I think I can plant some more strawberries at least. Wait, those aren't even done yet? How much time do they have left? 12 minutes? I thought the strawberries only took like 40 minutes. We did 2 dungeons that took almost 20 minutes each. Okay, we'll get those. Let's plant some crap up there. And time for the boss. Done. And let's go in again. Alright, after this we have 4 near tight left. I think I'll finish up my last 4 techs tomorrow. We got like 7 techs cleared today. Okay, let's sort out these checks. I should have 2 more. We cleared 7 times. Where those last 2 go off to? There's no way I forgot to pick up 2 checks, is there? I don't think so. Huh, that's weird. I wonder if they went to my me inventory or something. No? Oh no, wait, we still have this near tight, so up here, so we haven't used that one yet, so we should have at least 6 then. Where's that last check? I guess maybe I did forget to pick one of them up. Oops. Okay, that's 340. $520,000. Like 710. About 900k gold. Let's buy some Frost Flame. Frost Flame Red. Buying the thread is actually pretty cheap, it's just turning them into actual crests that's expensive, so here we'll get 35 of those. And we made like around 900k in profit off those techs. So we'll withdraw that from the bank. Or actually, yeah, because I'm gonna go to the association room and turn those into crests. Go ahead and switch to Arsenal Gunner. So we need 15 crests for the next one, and 150 of the smoldering ones. Oh right, I have to actually claim those from the auction house. I bought them, but I didn't claim them. There we go. One mil 570. Yeah, 1 mil 500,000, so 10 of them. How long are these good for? Another 6 days, basically. Need 2 more of those, and let's use the remaining 70k. To get 7 smoldering thread turned into crests. There. Okay, so what tech skills do I want to take up? That's what I gotta think on next. Maybe I'll take up the healing one. The Zone of Renewal. That's what I'm kind of thinking about. Or Defiance. Defiance is also good. I was working on that. Where's Defiance at? Yeah, we're pretty close on that one. Let's get some of those green ones. Okay, first things first. Time to throw a few things away. destroy all that. Okay, let's get 2 of those for starters. Level up Defiance. Hey, I might even get to level 10. Oh, we don't quite have enough of those noble crystals of challenge. Wait, how many do we need? We need like 20 more. Don't I have exactly 4 boxes left? Yeah, that's perfect. I think I can get the noble ones from this. Yeah. Oh wait, this only gives out 3 each, not 5. Well, that sucks. Okay, how many are left? So I'd have to run it 3 more times to get what I need. Let's do it. Let's finish that out today. Let's get Defiance to level 10. Why not? We're so close. We're going back and we're doing a few more techs. So I need to do this a minimum of 3 more times. Oh, right. Hang on a second. I did have to switch to Arsenal Gunner to make those crests. So let's switch Arcanas. Back to Dark Diviner. We're gonna use that for this. There we go. Now we're ready. Okay, that's good enough. So, I may have picked up some of those crystals when I was just doing the missions, getting them from the reward chest. Let's see how many I have now. We need 6 more. So I'll need to open up 2 of those boxes. Yeah, check there. Check there. Remember to pick them all up this time. So yeah, I'm gonna need 2 of those. Nice. So Defiance, rank 10, well level 10. That's maxed out now. Phantasmal Sight. That's one thing I have to work on. So, yeah, I'm probably going to work on Zone of Renewal or Iron Will next. And then we'll work on Phantasmal Sight last, because I still need to get some of this for it, so we can get the XP there. $20 to $35, bonus damage 20%. Wow. I should... Oh wait, I don't think these can be transferred to other characters. I should try and get some of these arrows for Xanafiedlion. One day. So what are the shadow missions today? Provocation and Sniper War. Sniper War is fun. We'll do that. How much summon time do you two have left? 20 minutes, 52 seconds. Okay. Is there anyone else that gathers leather? Cooking, harvesting. Island ecology. Mineralogy. Oh, this one picks up tailoring materials, the commerce one. Okay. Let's go ahead and summon that. Oops. There we go. And we're gonna go do Sniper War, because that's fun. Plus it'll pay some gold. Where's that shadow crystal? Let's use that. Oh wait, I need a pass for Elite, right? I don't think I have one of those, so... Wait a minute, what's that there? Is that the last tech reward thing? Yeah. We can use that up later. Let's see if I can pull a Shadow Mission Pass. Receive random items. And let's have a look here. There we go, we got one. Got two. Nice. Magnet all that. I'm not gonna do any Baltane stuff today. Or speech bubble stuff. Gems would be nice though. Alright, Sniper War. See, we need a veteran mode for shadow missions too, because it's like, with Arcana, shadow missions just aren't really a challenge anymore. We don't even have to do anything, like you wouldn't have to change the other modes. You can still leave basic, intermediate, hard mode, and elite. Shadow missions are always exactly the same no matter the difficulty, it's just... the enemies are tougher. That's all. Okay. can still destroy that with pet summons. Finally got it. Didn't have to destroy it, but I want them to. There are 2 more of those. Alright, and then we'll finish off this guy with that. Spirit gems, that's the only thing I want. Is this the one where we have to go to the gates and, Oh no, it's this one. This one's kind of boring. A lot of waiting around is all for enemies to spawn. Hey, I finished collecting the Shadow Commander transformation. That was unexpected, but good to have that done, I guess. Alright, I guess I don't need these summons anymore. And let's sell some stuff. So, let's sell this. And this. Good. Now I have enough to process 2 of those frost flame threads. Yeah, let's get out of here. And let's go to the association room. We'll switch to Arsenal Gunner as well. Make some more of those Ice Scorched crests I need, so... Make 3 more. And how much do I have left? Oh, oops, I can make 2 more actually. So we have 20 left. And we have enough for the next level. Okay, and we can make 4 of the normal ones. There. Alright, and this is a pretty good spot to wrap things up, so let's do some fishing and end stream. I'll finish up 2 more runs with my near-tight crystals tomorrow. I might start running techs with like other characters too, but so far I think only Xanafied Neko and Xanafiedlion are the only 2 that are like actually ready. There are 2 other characters that I have to like catch up on. Oh wait, I need to make the hole first. Which it's pretty cool that I have Slump. There. Alright, so we're going to wrap up the stream here, and I will be playing Mabinogi again tomorrow.